There are many wrong assumptions about teenagers. In one of our trainings, in one of the exams, we ask a question: would you consider working as a yoga therapist with teenagers? And you'd be surprised to know that about 70% of the respondents, they answer, no way, I will be too scared. Scared of what, I wonder? Well, this is obviously an age that can be very difficult for many of us and parents as carers. And we also assume that whenever there's a teenager who's having certain behavioral issues, that they're angry or they are clumsy or they forget things or they misbehave, they don't sleep, they stay up until late at night. We think that that is just because they're teenagers. So working as a yoga therapist, this is quite an important topic. Why? Because good intentions are not good enough. And just wanting to help the younger generations is not always something that you will be able to do in a professional way. The first thing that you need to consider is, for example, that in some countries there is regulation about the minimum age that these individuals can actually do yoga and come to your yoga therapy sessions without parental consent. So this is important that you establish and that you are familiar with your local regulations to make sure that you're not carrying out any sessions that could be considered illegal. Number two, teenagers do have mental health and physical health issues. So don't assume that everything is due to the fact that they're teenagers and due to their age. A lot of the times the parents are the ones diagnosing the child or the young adult. They come to you and they say, oh, my son is ADHD, or my daughter, she's not eating enough, or my son is, he's aggressive and he misbehaves, he's not very obedient, he has a problem with behavior. Well, actually, some of these issues need to be properly diagnosed. So be prepared as a yoga therapist to refer to the right specialist. In many cases, you will have to do it through the parents, and in some cases, perhaps through the teenage themselves, if they need to go perhaps to speak to their doctor when they suspect that they have a sexually transmitted disease or anything where perhaps the parents may be against it. And in some cases where really a medical diagnosis is absolutely necessary. Now, the regulation of the legal boundaries of these conversations and these behaviors, of course, are very specific to the area where you live. Make sure you find out before you offer your help to work with teenagers. I have to tell you, it's a wonderful job to do, but make sure that you do it fully protected and that you understand that a lot of these health issues are not because they're teenagers. It could be that they have asthma, it could be that they have eating disorders, that they have anxiety issues that need to be looked at by a medical professional, and that therefore yoga therapy can be used as a support system, but never as a cure. Thank you, and I'll see you again in my next Yoga Therapy Toolbox.